most women who grew up in the 80s and 90s, I was not diagnosed with ADHD till I was an adult. Why? Because ADHD was just for boys. That was something that boys did. If you were a girl, you were simply annoying. You were easily distracted, you were disruptive to the class, or you were a joy to have in class. And why can't it be all of the above? I fell into that category. My brain has always been a chaotic place. What was I doing? What was I going to say? Where's my train of thought? It is derailed. It's caught on fire. People are suffering. I don't have an elevator speech. You know, people are like, what do you do? My elevator speech, you're getting in the Willy Wonka elevator. I don't know where we're going or what's going to happen. We're all afraid your grandparents' lives hang in the balance. They're all in bed together. I don't know what I was going to say other than I'm not an expert. I'm just a woman with ADHD who has tried a lot of things, and some of those things have worked and some of those things have not. These are things that work for me. If they work for you, great. If they don't, that's also fine. I hope you find something that works for you. One thing that works for me is paper, all kinds of paper. I have so many kinds of paper. Right over here, I've got these Paquetto, I hope I'm saying that right, calendar pages. They are blank. I put up 3 months at a time. I put when I'm out of the office, I put major deadlines. I sometimes cross off days that have already happened because it is hard for me to conceptualize time. Where are we? What is happening? What month is it? I have those up 3 at a time. In the other part of this office, this studio, sometimes I'm calling it a studio because it seems more like creative. Like other people go to an office, I go to a studio. I've got basically the same thing, but they're wipeable. You can only write on them with chalk markers. I was served an Instagram ad. I bought it. I said, I need a whole wall calendar. I need them all up at once. And then I need to buy a specialized kind of marker to write on them. I didn't really need these, but I do like being able to glance over when I'm at that desk and see the entire year, see major deadlines, see things that are coming up. You might be asking desks? How many desks can one woman have? 3, that's the max. Technically there's 4 because I also have, impulse control problem. And I saw old school desks on Craigslist for $5 and I was like, I need them. I don't know when I'm going to start a school. I don't know when I'm going to start a bar where people have to sit at school desks spaced out and mind their own business. So technically I have 4 desks, but I have 3 major workspaces. This is one. There are 2 in the other room. And then also I have places to just sit. I'm a floor sitter. Sitting on the floor helps me concentrate. I can sit on the floor in front of the TV, have Real Housewives on, blaring in the background. I'm not following it. It's just white noise to me, especially Rowan J. Having a bunch of Italian women screaming at each other in the background puts me into a nice meditative state, a sort of homeostasis, if you will. I have to have a lot of places to sit, a lot of places to work. Of course, this is a privilege. Not everybody can work in basically like an apartment by themselves, but I can. And I wish that I would have had versions of this throughout my career. I wish that I would have had more flexibility. I wish that I was not just chained metaphorically, or was I? Felt like I really was, to a cubicle, to a desk, to a place that was not conducive to my actual concentration. It helps me if I can sit in a chair however I want to sit in it. So I actually have 2 of these chairs. Oh, good. Okay, I can sit in it crisscross, which is how I'm mostly sitting. You can get them on wheels, but that is so dangerous. I cannot have a chair on wheels that I'm also sitting in crisscross style that also spins. That is so dangerous for me. But the crisscross chairs have been transformative for me because I want to sit like this. 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 I just can't sit in a regular office chair. I don't need arms. I need to be able to sit cross-legged. I need a little bit of spin, and it's cozy, it's comfy. So I have 2 for my 2 different desks. I know this is chaotic, but welcome to my brain. And if you have ADHD, you actually don't think this is chaotic at all. You're like, this is great. I'm tracking, I'm following. Oh, you're going to pick up a thread from 4 minutes ago? Great, I got it. I was holding it this whole time. I did forget why I was holding it. No big deal. This little thing, it was maybe $10. This is a visual timer. If I've got something to do and only so much time to do it, I turn this bad boy on. And there's something about seeing the time that helps me lock in, especially when I have one task that has taken me 2 months to do when really it just takes, 2 months and 10 minutes. Okay. I can sit down get it done, and then check it off the list, which brings me back to my first thing that we first talked about, paper lists. Paper and lists. This is how I use paper and lists. A lot of people like to use a digital calendar, and a digital calendar is great. I use that as well. But there is something about a paper list. Start my weeks off with a legal pad. It has 4 quadrants. One is write. I'm a writer. I obviously have things that I have to write. One is things that I have to do. These could be big tasks. These could be little tasks. The other one is YouTube. I'm here. Things that I'd like to film. These are like ideas. They could be things that I'm going to actually record this week. What's the 4th thing? Oh, looks like it has just been 3. Well, sometimes a 4th category will arise. And when it does, I just make the category, I make a list. This is like the big list. This doesn't mean everything has to get done this week, but these are things that it would be nice to get done this week. I can look at this list, then kind of triage and decide what has to get done this week. And that's where the planner comes in. This is a mid-year planner. It's by Papier, maybe Papier. I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Paper in French. It's French for paper. I love this thing. God, I love this thing. This is the layout. I'm gonna show you a week that I'm not like on yet. So there's like a section for every day, even for the weekend. Along the very top of the page up here, I go to this first list and I come up with the things that are like the most important for me to get done this week. Then I divide every part of the week page. So I divide it in half. These are like my top 3 things that I have to do. On the right side are meetings, like my schedule, when I have a meeting, when I have to leave to go pick up a kid, things like that. And then on the left is like what I would like to do that day. What are my to-dos for that day? I update this every Sunday. I sit at the kitchen table with my kids. I make them go through their planners. I go through my planner. I say my plans out loud to, one, remind myself to like tell my husband, because more than once I've been like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. I actually have a business trip this week. I leave tomorrow. I'll be gone 4 days. I don't know if I booked a hotel, but see ya. That's happened. So we go over this on Sunday so I can say my plans out loud to everybody and also like remind myself. Now, when I get to the studio, I use this. This is like a daily Post-it from Noted by Post-it, which is like a brand that's only at Target. This is like your day. So this is my day-to-day. It's August 8th when I'm recording this. So this is my morning schedule, okay? I'm dropping the kids off at 7:30, going to the gym at 8. I'm filming from 9 to 11:30. I had a Zoom at noon, and then at 2:30, I've got to go pick up my kid. Yes, that's in the calendar because guess what? I'll forget. Not because I don't love them, but because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm someone's mom? Holy wow, whoops. Oh, 2:30 comes awfully quick. And then like our evening plans. And I like to write those down to like remind myself like, oh, there's something to look forward to tonight. We're going to like watch a movie. We're going to have pizza, whatever it is. This also has like a top 3, which again helps me zero in from like the things I would like to get done this week. The big list that I keep adding to and refining and pulling from. My top 3 for this day. Random to-dos. I just like to have this little piece of paper. And again, often I'm writing the same thing in several places, but there's something about the writing of the thing in several places that helps me remember it. As an added bonus, sometimes before I leave, I'll write out the next day's list, I'll peel it off, and I'll put it on the cover of my planner so that when I bring this thing home and I'm looking, I can kind of see like what the next day will bring me. And you're probably asking yourself, okay, but like, didn't you go over that on Sunday? Isn't there a list? Isn't there another list? Yes, I need a lot of lists. And I also need a lot of the exact same pen. And I obviously need a lot of drinks. Okay, like that is a key to my success, is having like several drinks that I have abandoned all over the place. This is just, oh, this one's full. Empty. Fullish. Ooh, with ice. Full and unopened. Like I opened this. A precious Diet Coke. I'm down to just 7.5 ounces, not even every day. And I just left it out here. Like, okay, but that's an important part of my process. And you know what else is? Piles. I am going to show you parts of this studio, parts of this office. They're not aesthetic. You know why? Because aesthetics are for boring people. Aesthetics are for people who like aren't really like living in a space. That's wildly insulting and a blanket statement and probably not true. My husband is a very neat person. I get more joy out of my life, I think, I like to see my things. What do those piles mean? I don't know. They meant something to the version of me that made the pile. To me now, it is like looking at a room tune from like, ancient times. I'm like, what was she trying to say? What was she trying to communicate? All right. There's a pile of books. There's a pile of papers. There are piles, and I love them. There are a bunch of projects. You got to have projects. You got to have projects that you will start and never finish. You have to have in your workspace, if you can, just a little project that you can just like pick up and then set down and forget about for like 4 to 6 months, years, whatever it takes. That is how I thrive. I literally thrive on having like a certain amount of chaos around me at all times. There's the crisscross chair, there's piles, there's writing things down in as many places as possible. There's having a bunch of drinks. There is not a walking pad. You know why there's not a walking pad? I can't walk and work at the same time. And I don't know who on earth can. Who can do that? Who is out here able to have the motor function to walk as they do anything else? I had a walking pad. I fell off it numerous times. Like more than I would care to admit, I just fell off of it. But you know what I can't fall off of? This thing. Oh my God, I love this thing. And someone's gonna get hurt when I got this on. But this is like a weighted hula hoop. I gotta step back. Something's going down. Best part is, I obviously look really cool when I do it. It's weighted, it like adjusts. You can like take out little links to make it bigger or smaller. It's really fun. Someone was like, but does it work? And I was like, well, yeah, it worked. Like you saw me use it. I think they meant like, does it make you skinnier? I have no idea, dude. I know my abs hurt after I use it, but there's something about that motion and that sound that's so soothing to me. And sometimes I just have to move. But like I said, it will not be on a walking pad. It will not be on a desk treadmill. Not all of us are that coordinated. Some of us can only hula hoop when they're wearing a device that they can't get off. Oh my God. Okay, I got it off. Dude, I love this thing. I love this thing. It is just like kind of a way for me to like stim out in the middle of the day, get a little energy out, get up. I have this Apple Watch now because I love the look. I actually think it's like one of the ugliest things in the world, but because it reminds me to stand up because I have 2 modes. I will either be fully lost wandering around this space, like wondering what it was I was going to do, or I am so locked in, I will just straight up focus and work and then be like, oh my God, I have to go get my kid. Oh man, I haven't drank any water today. I haven't stood up. My bones are creaking. It's wild. And by wild, I mean just extremely boring. Do you know how hard it is to make like this work look like interesting? I couldn't even like shoot something like, oh, here's me typing. Hunch, 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 hunch. Speaking of typing. Oh my God, I love, 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 love this keyboard and the keyboard sounds. I love it. I love it. It's so satisfying. It is so satisfying color-wise and also just that sound. It tickles a part of my brain that I didn't know needed tickling. That's gross. Don't say that. This is the final thing. This is what I need more than anything. It's these specific headphones, okay? They're on right now. They're not connected to anything. These are noise-canceling headphones, Quiet Comforts by Bose. I love these headphones. Most of the time when I have them on, they're connected to absolutely nothing. They're connected to nothing. But the way that they hug my head tells my head, girl, you're working now. You are at work. When these are on, I'm like, okay. I have other headphones that I love. The Beats Flex, throw your AirPods in the trash. That's a rant for another time. I love these things. These are like my work go-tos. Without these, I am lost. Without these, I am nobody. Okay, I have to go to work. This was my ADHD office. I tried.